been given a point. The minimum point's at -2 pi over 3. The maximum's at 5 pi over 3 and 8. So if I just get you a quick graph here, let's say that that's pi over 3 here, 5 pi over 3 maybe somewhere around here. We know that we have a min at -2, max at +8, and it goes through 2 quadrants. Okay, to go from the min to the max. Okay, so what we want are different parts of this. So I'll do this in different colors for the first one. So the A value represents our amplitude. So if we want the amplitude, we're going to take the position y and subtract the position 2 and divide by 2. Okay, that gives us the distance between top and bottom. Okay, and then we will divide that by 2 to give us the amplitude. So halfway between 8 and -2 is going to be 3. Okay, so our amplitude, oops, sorry, that's not halfway. We're doing the difference. So halfway is going to be 8 plus 2 divided by 2 is 5, so our amplitude is 5. Okay, so that represents the distance from middle to there. Okay, we'll find the middle. We want to find that vertical middle, which is our Q value. Our Q value is going to be the average of those 2 points. Okay, so we're going to end up with a Q value of y equals 3. Okay, we want to find our period and our shift. So the period we'll do first because it's a little bit easier. The period T is calculated. We know that this distance from here to here represents half of our period. The distance, so we subtract 5 pi over 3 minus pi over 3. That's a distance. And then we want to double that distance to get the entire period, because that only represents 2 quadrants, so we want 4 quadrants, so we have to double it. So the distance between is going to be 4 pi over 3. We double that distance, it's 8 pi over 3. We want the graph, the function, so we need to calculate b as well. So then if I plug that into my 2 pi divided by our period, we're going to end up with 3 over 4 when I simplify that fraction. The last thing then is we want the p value. We want the horizontal shift. The easiest way to get that horizontal shift is to take a look at that point there. It's been shifted to the right for the cosine graph, and that represents the start of a cosine graph. Okay, now that here we could use as the start of the sine graph. Okay, we can use that point there and use an upside down cosine graph. There's lots of different possibilities here. I'm going to just stick with the easiest one and say that we've shifted 5 pi over 3 to the start of a cosine graph. So the p-value is 5 pi over 3, and this is specifically for the cosine function. Now that I have all the parts, I'm going to put it all together and write the y equals equation for this. The amplitude is 5. So let me just write this in here. Sine bracket. Okay, so we're going to find the amplitude. The amplitude is 5, which we got there. We know that the b value is going to be 3 over 4. Okay, that's what we got over here. Okay, from our v. The horizontal shift was our cosine. Oops, so we use a cosine, so I better change that. The cosine was 5 pi over 3. And we're going to change that. I forgot that we're using cosine, which is what we want to use. So this is going to be cosine. There we go. And then the last component is our vertical shift. Okay, our vertical shift is, the middle line is +3. So there it is. There's our function, our y equals function for this.